Hi, second graders. This is Miss Forster. I'm going to read you a very short biography of Abraham Lincoln. We're studying biographies right now in social studies. Biographies are the stories of people's lives. This story about Abraham Lincoln was written by Dolores Malone and illustrated by Stephen Costanza. It's an informational text. That means it often gives facts about real people, places, and events that reflect history or the traditions of communities. So we are going to listen to this text, and then your seesaw activity has some questions about this text. If you need to, you could listen to it again. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 in Kentucky. His family lived in a log cabin that only had one room. When Abraham Lincoln was a boy, everyone called him Abe. Abe and his family moved to Indiana in 1816. He was 7 years old. Abe worked very hard on the farm. One of his jobs was cutting wood. Wood was used for cooking and for heat. Wood was also used to make fences. When Abe grabbed the handle of his axe, a big log soon became firewood or fence rails. Abe also plowed fields and planted corn. Young Abe carried a book with him wherever he went. Whenever he had time to rest, Abe took the book from his pocket and read. As a young man, Abe worked in a store in New Salem, Illinois. One day a woman bought some things in the store. After she left, Abe noticed that he hadn't given enough money back to the woman. Abe walked many miles to give her the money. When his friends heard this story, they called him Honest Abe. Abe loved to read, tell stories, and make people laugh. Abe studied hard and passed a test to become a lawyer. In 1837, he opened a law office in Springfield, Illinois. Now people called him Mr. Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States on November 6, 1860. Now he was called President Lincoln. President Lincoln had a very big problem. People in the North wanted to end slavery. The people in the South wanted to form their own country and keep slavery. President Lincoln wanted to keep the country together. The Civil War began on April 12, 1861. The armies of the North and the South fought each other. Many people died. President Lincoln had to find a way to stop the fighting. The Civil War finally ended on April 9, 1865. Abraham Lincoln worked very hard with many others to put our country back together. To this day, many people call Abraham Lincoln America's great president. And then we have a timeline on the bottom of the page. Follow along with me as I read the information on the timeline. 1809, Abraham Lincoln is born in Kentucky. 1816, young Abe and his family moved to Indiana. 1837, Lincoln opens his law office. 1860, Lincoln is elected President of the United States. 1861, the Civil War begins. 1865, the Civil War ends. On your seesaw activity today, you're going to find very few questions, just a couple of questions about this story about Abraham Lincoln. Do your best.